Welcome to the Restaurant Marketing Podcast, where we talk about how multi-unit brands successfully market at the local level. Today in the show, we have Luis Velasco, Senior Vice President and Marketing Head at Jolibee Foods Corporation North America, leading the business and brand growth for a portfolio of brands operating in this region. He's a multi-awarded sales and marketing professional with a master's degree in business and extensive global restaurant experience. I am super excited and honored to have Luis on today for a very special edition of this show. Now, we normally talk about how multi-unit brands successfully market at the location level. We all find that pretty difficult. Every store is different. There's lots of challenges. But on today, we are specifically going to talk about how Jolibee does new restaurant openings, or NROs. Some people call them NSOs. If you've ever seen or witnessed a Jolibee grand opening, it's massive. It's a huge party. It's like it's the only thing happening in town on that day. It's almost like New Year's Eve. Okay. Now, I saw Luis present this exact presentation that you're about to see at the QSR Summit, and I asked him if he would do it for us again, which we're going to get into today. Now, before we get to that, first, a fun fact: Luis believes in aliens. Luis, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rev. Thank you. It's an honor for me to be here in your podcast. Thank you for the invite.
I appreciate it. Now, if you guys are if you're listening to this on audio, the video lives in the Restaurant Marketing Summit, or you might be able to find it on my LinkedIn. You really want to see the visuals on this. If you joined us live for today, turn off everything else you're working on, because this is massive. Now, again, I saw you present this the first time we've ever met. I grabbed you as soon as it was off. I said, oh my God, everybody needs to see this. And even me, like, I had not realized how much intentional marketing and planning goes into the grand opening of Jolibee. So I think everybody has a lot to learn here.
Thank you. I'm excited to share what we have, and hopefully everyone gets to learn a thing or two today. And we'll see.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, you take it away from here, present, go. Everybody get out your pens and your pencils and your screenshots, and let's ride.
All right, let's do this. Let me just quickly share my screen. Okay. Hold on.
No worries.
I'm not seeing my screen. Hold on.
All right, so you hit the present button down below. You got that, right? And then share screen.
Yeah. My presentation is not showing. It's weird. Okay. Let me reopen it. Hold on. Sorry about that.
No worries. Technical difficulties always happen.
So while I'm pulling this up, thank you again, Rev. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I do know, Rev, you have a couple of fans back in the Philippines.
Oh my!
Which is it's at 1:30 a.m. there right now. So
the only time I've ever stood on stage and had 8 rockets fired at me on top of a flaming giant skull was in the Philippines. That's a story for another time. But here we go, the presentation up. So here we go, creating buzz during grand openings. Luis from Jolibee, take it away, buddy, please.
Thank you, Rev. All right, so Rev wanted me to kind of show you what I had presented a couple of weeks ago in the QSR Summit. We're really proud of how we do grand openings at Jolibee. I always say it is what you make of it. And for us, it's really something that, we put a lot of effort into it, put a lot of activities, put a lot of planning. But I thought I'd start with this one, which is our story. I'm not sure exactly how many of you really know who Jolibee is, what Jolibee is, and what we're about. So just wanted to play a very quick video just to let you know what we're about, and we'll take it from there.
Jolibee Foods Corporation has been committed to its mission of spreading joy for the last 4 decades. Through our great tasting food and the warmth of our friendly service, what began as a humble ice cream parlor in the 1970s has grown to become one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies today. Our growth remains unprecedented despite the challenges of the pandemic, bringing us closer to our ambition to be one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world today. At the heart of our business is our flagship brand, Jollibee, which is built on the global appeal of our great tasting food, coupled with the passion, dedication, and talent of our people, fueling our growth in key cities across the globe. North America is a key pillar to our business goals. From our very first store in Daly City, California, we are now rapidly expanding coast to coast. We witnessed our most loyal customers camp out days before our store openings. We saw our name in bold letters on news headlines. We heard the clamor of fans begging that we open Jollibee stores in their neighborhoods. And the joy was stronger than ever. Our beloved fans still made beelines to our drive-through windows during opening weeks. Foodies continue to marvel at our great tasting food. All these paved the way for Jollibee to receive numerous international recognitions. Today, we are poised to grow to 500 stores. As we grow, so does our involvement in the communities of the cities where we operate. At Jollibee, we're committed to our mission of spreading the joy of eating to everyone in the U.S., across North America, and the rest of the world.
All right. We're all about joy. We're all about spreading joy. And you'll see in the next couple of slides how much joy we try to impart and execute every grand opening. A little bit more about us. We have 16 brands in the portfolio. You'll probably see some of the familiar brands on your right screen. We have a couple of franchise brands back in the Philippines, Burger King, Panda Express, and Yoshinoya among them. So we do operate these brands in the Philippines as a master franchisee in that country. Here in North America, we have 87 restaurants, 25 in Canada and 62 in the US. We are present in 13 states in the US and 5 provinces in Canada. So not yet very big. We plan to build our network to 500 restaurants soon. That's why a lot of opening is a milestone for us. We treat them as a milestone because each one is very important. Here's a photo we like sharing, to a lot of our partners, stakeholders. It's something we posted on social media a couple of years ago, and we got a lot of comments. They thought it was a sneaker drop. They thought it was a new smartphone launching with people in line. It actually was our Manhattan opening back in 2018. And you see here kind of like a snapshot of how lines form during, openings of a Jollibee here in the US and Canada. And I'll speak a lot about it today. Really, the preparation starts 18 months ahead. Once we get the permit, once we get the site ready, once we get signal from maybe a landlord that we're ready to come in and start communicating and start building awareness for it. So it all starts with our soon to open board ups. We want the community and the locality to know that we're opening soon in the next couple of months. And then most recently, as we have been doing a lot of more digital efforts, even for our opening restaurants, we've adopted a QR code in our board ups. It seemed very simple, I would say, in terms of when we started doing it, but it actually is a lot of value. Once we started implementing the QR codes, we got a lot of information, data, people who are interested in the brand, people who wanted to apply for jobs, maybe in the restaurant where we were opening in. And it also gave us an opportunity to connect back to them, either through email marketing or SMS, and just kind of give them an update on where we were in terms of when we would be opening, how long it would take, like maybe it's a month away or 2 weeks away. and then eventually kind of giving them also kind of a sneak peek of what's in store for them in their community. So the countdown begins, and these are our three key sources of awareness. Um, some of you may be doing these already. We do a lot of digital posts, both organic and paid. Again, we try um, building the anticipation for our stores with our coming soon posts. We do a lot of media partnerships, and like I said, this is where data and personalization comes in, because as we get data and information from people, we're now able to send them personalized email marketing, letting them know when we would be opening for that particular restaurant. We do a lot of promos. So depends on the location, depends on the season. We sometimes do apparel that's fit for either the summer or the winter. Our kind of signature promo is our Year of Joy, which is you know um, 12 months of Chicken Joy for either the first customer or the first 25. We give a lot of and I'm not sure if you can see me on the screen. We give a lot of Funko Pops. We do all these Jollibee toys and giveaways during openings. Kind of just like making it exciting for those who are attending our openings for the first couple of days, first week, maybe. And then the day before opening, it's really our opportunity to engage with all these people, our customers, our influencers, and the media, to help us get the word out that we're opening the following day. And most importantly, with our store team. So we do what we call an early access, kind of an activity where we invite people the day before to actually experience our food, our service, the vibe in the restaurant. So this happens around lunchtime, and we get people to come in and you know kind of like have a sneak peek. Excuse me. Um, so just some photos of how we do it. This was in Canada, in the upper left photo, as you can see. So a lot of interest obviously happening, and then again, this is where we use that little QR code in the beginning that I showed. This is where we use data information to get people to invite them to that early access for our customers. We invite a lot of content creators and influencers, to help us spread the word that we're opening. And then also we have a very strong partnership with the media, thanks to our agency partners, also from the PR side of things. So yes, that is a real bucket of chicken joy, and sometimes we also use that to you know let people guess how many chicken pieces are in a bucket, and we give away prizes for that. So that's a consistent kind of signature um, visual and activity we do during grand openings.
I would like to have that for lunch right now. I like to guess how many pieces I could eat right now.
If you guess it right, Rev, I'll send you some.
Good to know. I'll DM you.
And then I would be remiss in if I did not mention that we do a lot of things from a marketing side, from an awareness side, from a promotion side of things. But I would say equally important, and probably arguably even more important, is really how we do game planning with our operations team, with our store restaurant teams, both the management side and the crew side. They really are integral to our grand openings. The crowd, the lines, the customers that come into our store, their experience really with these people. We can only churn out the kind of food and service that we want to be known for if these people are ready and prepared, and this is a very important part of the day. in terms of game planning for our store teams, and this is something we we really take to heart and are very serious about when it comes to store openings. And then grand opening day happens again. The moment, the morning, or the day comes, we start out with posts about our now open communication. We have a lot of the media that we've already been working with for the last couple of days. They start posting about our opening for the day, and then again a reminder from an email marketing standpoint, sending these out to all those in our email list. And then we do our team huddle and cheer, kind of getting people ready and prepped up. Our store team, like getting excited for the day, getting ready for, it's going to be a long day, but it's also going to be an exciting, energetic, and joyful day for everyone. By then, we would be ready to welcome and thank our first customer. And this is also, a kind of like a ritual for us to acknowledge and thank our first customers, because they really make an effort to stay in line for literally hours and days. The longest, we've ever had is someone who waited 3 days before we actually opened. And you see him there in the picture on the left. We were actually in that restaurant preparing, and then someone was there, and we had to tell him that we weren't opening for 3 days, and he said, "Yeah, I know. I'm waiting." And we're like, "Okay." He got his chair, sat down, and literally stayed there for 3 days waiting. And then we have a couple of others, waiting for 2 days. The guy on the right is 22 hours. He and his girlfriend booked a hotel right beside the Jollibee that was opening, and that's where they would go for bathroom breaks, which obviously they're allowed to do, right? So it's really also a preparation for them, and a lot of planning for someone who wants to be the first customer in line, and that's why we also recognize and acknowledge them for all the effort. And then by then we would have kind of like the crowds growing, the lines getting longer and longer. These are the snapshots of the different areas and restaurant openings we've done. This is a video I wanted to show. It's a 10-block long line when we opened in Vancouver. This is still the line. The video has not repeated, I assure you. So it's 10 blocks long. We haven't even gotten to the Jollibee yet, and there you go. That's where Jollibee is. So we had a lot of coordination that we had to do with the community, especially with the shops nearby. Also for drive-through, we opened our first double lane drive-through in Orlando, and this is the line you see at night, from the Jollibee all the way down to kind of the highway. And on the right side is a video of someone who took a video of it, like the snake of the drive-through line. And then we do a lot of food drops. So while all of that is happening, we again, with our partner agency, we go through all these media outlets, radio stations. These are just some examples of them. This is at the Elvis Duran show in New York for iHeartRadio. We give a lot of food, Chicken Joy, chicken sandwich, our peach mango pie for anyone to try. And hopefully they talk about us on air, try to help us spread the word, and most often they do, because we think they'll like our products, and most of them do like our products, and so they talk about it on air and on the radio. And then we do a lot of social media. TikTok is one of them. Obviously you can't do anything now without TikTok, right? So a lot of TikTok posts when we open, a lot of creators and influencers that we partner with. Um, this is one of our, I'd say, highly engaging TikTok videos that we had put out when we opened Times Square. Um, don't ask me why. I also never understood why it was the most engaging TikTok. That's it. Uh, so, yeah. So it works. So yeah, we're gonna do more of it. So, and then the day comes. It's a jolly day to open a new store. That's what we call it. It's really a party and a celebration. The way we treat it. Again, like I said in the beginning, it is what you make of it, and we try to make it as big and as joyful and as fun as it possibly be. Um, we have a DJ when we open, and this is a group of students who requested for a song to be played because they wanted to dance to it, and we said sure. Just hold up the Times Square placard for Jollibee, and this is how it came out. So yeah, it's a party. We're lucky we have a B that dances really well and our customers engage with very well. So um, these are just sample videos of how our customers like and love dancing with the bee. If you want to see more of him dancing, a quick search on YouTube, and you'll see thousands of videos of him dancing with different kinds of people, even during concerts and shows in some areas. So yeah, so if you want to see more of them, he's all over YouTube. And then yeah, lots of delicious food. That's obviously the main reason why we open stores, really for people to experience the great food that we pride ourselves in. Lots of prizes and giveaways. I talked about the Year of Joy, the Funko Pops. We give away, if you look at the photo on the upper right, bucket hats, and we try to kind of uh, do variations of it depending on the season and the community. And then most importantly, lots of happy faces, customers, and most especially our crew, still smiling, still laughing, even after I'd say 15 hours of operations on day one. And that kind of lasts till about maybe a week or so, in terms of the crowds and the people lining up. So a lot of help, a lot of collaboration, and a lot of support from everyone in the organization. And really, hats off to these people. They're our frontliners. They're the ones who actually provide the joyful experience that we aim to give to every customer that comes into a Jollibee. And just wrapping it all up, just wanted to show two videos. This one is when we opened in Maui, couple of years ago. This was right before the pandemic hit.
So excited to finally inaugurate our first store on the island of Maui. We can now brag that Jollibee has a home in paradise. Finally, Maui can say, it's our turn!
Hundreds of people on Maui couldn't wait to get their first taste of Jollibee.
Yeah, people started lining up yesterday for this morning's grand opening.
The chicken joy is so amazing. I love it.
It's better than any spaghetti. Mango 5.
So it's our turn was kind of a battle cry we adopted. We saw it on socials. A lot of people asking when is it our turn? When is it our turn? That's kind of like a common comment we get on socials. We post something. We post announcement on the store opening, or sometimes even if it's not a store opening post, people comment and say, when are you coming to our area, our city, our state, or our province? And it's our turn kind of became a battle cry. So now every opening, it's like, a celebration that it's our turn, and Jollibee is now here, in our city or our state. So that was in Maui, in the U.S. Here's one from Canada, our Vancouver opening.
Well, the moment many have been waiting for is finally here. A very popular fast food chain from the Philippines is now open in Vancouver.
In the meantime, Vancouver, after years of waiting, it's our turn!
Jollibee was like 5 years ago. It was a good experience, man. Better than KFC. Jubilation for Jollibee.
Oh my
The fanfare, the excitement.
God! Willing to wait hours on it to get their hands on some.
Thank you, Robert. And I can taste the Filipino chicken almost every day.
So worth it!
All right, that's all for me, Rev.
Pretty awesome, man. Like I said, I was blown away when I when I first saw you do it. Blown away again. I'm hoping that everybody watched this realizes what I think the secret is. Right. I would like to ask you what the secret is, but can I guess what the secret is to a
Sure.
being highly intentional?
Purposive, correct. You're right. You're right. I mean, I've kept on saying it, and you got it. It is what you make of it, right? So, we're very intentional about it. As you said, we're very purposive with the plans and activities and efforts that we put into our openings. I think I said it one time, for brands who have probably thousands in their network, it's probably just any other opening for them. For us, it's really a milestone every time, because it's a blessing, and we're fortunate that we continue to open restaurants and grow our network, and so we treat it that way. So from top down, from all functions in the organization, it is how we plan things from a store opening standpoint.
There's so much going on. There's so much intensity. What is the speed of which you could open sorry, I'm going to change that question. What kind of time do you need between store openings? Like, could you open up a store this week and then another next week, or is there too much going on? Like, what is the
We've done that. In fact, we've done You're right about that. Maybe about a week, 5 days, maybe. Between store openings. So even organizationally, you kind of need to set up yourselves that way. And again, depends on how purposive and intentional you are. So if you expect to open a lot, and you expect to open, several in a month, you need to kind of be set up that way. So we're able to do that. And like I said, because we treat it like a blessing. It's, you know sometimes you can't predict when restaurants open. I'm sure you know that from your experience, right? Construction or permits or whatever it is, supply chain issues come up. But as soon as we get the go signal, we're ready to run, and we're all on standby, and we're all on push button mode.
Everybody like sitting at their desk, like waiting to book a flight.
Oh, exactly.
Toss it on.
Exactly. I don't remember how many times I've rebooked a flight, either to advance it or to move it back, just because there are changes in the opening date. But I mean, that's really part of it.
Now, how do you keep all of these activity organized? Do you have like a spreadsheet with check marks in it, or like how do you do that?
Yeah. So we have a cross-functional team that works together. So we have what we call a team that's the new restaurant opening team. So they're pretty much our leads when it comes to store openings and restaurant openings, and then everything just flows from them, from our construction and design group, to marketing, which is from where I am, supply chain. So everything kind of like, it has to be as well oiled the machine as it possibly can, because there's a lot of moving parts. I mean, if supply chain, something happens on supply chain for an external factor or issue happens, everyone kind of needs to adjust. Some food we were expecting didn't arrive on time. Everyone has to adjust. So us on the marketing side, it's a little bit challenging sometimes, because you kind of want to get the word out with a specific date, right, with a specific time, and you're inviting all these creators and influencers and media, right? So we're hoping and praying it doesn't move, right? Like when we've invited them all over. And sometimes you also invite um, officers of the community and the locality. Sometimes local officials as well. So there's a lot of high level intensive coordination, I would say, from all the functions inside the organization.
I think I asked you this in person, but what is the time at which you're like, okay, the entire plan of new store opening, is it 18 months? Is it 3 days? Like what's from day one till open? What's the average time there?
um 18 months is probably the shortest, I'd say.
It's amazing. Highly
um
intentional.
yeah. Yeah. So like I said, it doesn't start from, hey, we're opening in 2 weeks. We're like, okay, let's start planning, right? I mean, um I already know where we're opening next year, for example. I know where we're opening. I know kind of like the target dates when we're opening. Those get moved, obviously, for whatever reason. Sometimes those things you can't control, but we already know, even as far back as, in fact, even probably early 2025, we already know where we're opening and when we plan to open there. So it starts literally as soon as we secure the location. That's when planning starts.
Okay, couple more questions. Who owns the entire initiative around which department owns a new restaurant opening initiative? Is it marketing? Is it operations? Like who owns it?
Our new restaurant openings group leads that. Yeah.
So you have a dedicated group, and they probably have an arm to both marketing and operations. That's kind of where they live.
Exactly. So they we set up that group because it specifically because we knew that we were going to be very aggressive with expansion. We used to not have that group, because we used to just rely on our current operations structure. And then it became so much that we just had to have a dedicated team that just literally does that. Like they jump from store to store to open.
It looks Herculean, like it does.
It is, and like I said, I mean, I'm just here talking about it, but these people are the ones really doing the hard work and the heavy lifting. We're lucky to have them. We're kind of in the background, just trying to support them with, generating that awareness for people, doing all these promotions, all that. But the heavy lifting is really done by them, and we're fortunate to have these people.
Okay, what is, like, let's say that you got 20% more budget. What is the thing that you're not doing that you would add to this playbook? Like, you have people like parachuting into the location, smoke signals. Like, what's the thing you're not doing that if you could, you would?
Wow, that's a good question. If I had 20% more budget, I'd say more partnerships and community engagements. So, I think there's a lot of things that go on in the community that we'd like to be a bigger part of. We do some of it already, and obviously it's not as big as probably we would want it to be. So, we expect to be in the community for forever, ideally, right? So, a lot of partnerships with organizations and groups within the community, how we can support them better, how Jollibee can be a more integral part of how they do things in the community, how we can add value. Those are I think those are the things we'd like to do more of, and even moving forward. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I could ask 100 more questions. We're already 7 minutes over budget. These are only 30 minutes. I appreciate it. I am going to ask one more question. Like 2 more. Sorry.
Okay, sure.
If you're going to order Jollibee today, what's your order?
Chicken Joy.
Are you getting a couple pieces? Are you getting a whole bucket? What are you getting on the side?
So I'll tell you what I do. I get 3 pieces in my meal. One of them is spicy Chicken Joy. The other 2 are original.
Spicy guy,
I'd get a peach mango pie for dessert, and I'd get a pineapple quencher for my beverage. That's what I do.
All right, next question, because I actually have people who are texting me going, when can I go to Jollibee? I'm like, I'm in the middle of a broadcast. If they've never been to Jollibee, what should we tell them to get as their first order?
Chicken Joy.
So
I tell you this. If so there are 2 ways you can go with it, right? So bone-in chicken, there's a reason why we call it Chicken Joy, right? I mean, the name itself, you're sure to have a joyful experience with that. And then most recently we launched our own chicken sandwich. It also comes in original and spicy. Spicy has sriracha, mayo, jalapeno. That's pretty awesome as well. A lot of people like it. So if you want more of the chicken sandwich, you're more of a chicken sandwich eater, you go with chicken sandwich. Or bone-in chicken, you can't go wrong with Chicken Joy. I don't know if you caught it, but Eater voted us the best chain fried chicken in America. So, I don't want to keep talking about it. I mean, people have talked about us already. So yeah, I mean, people may not believe me because I'm from Jollibee, but listen to the others.
Awesome. Well, Luis from Jollibee, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know we had a lot of difficulty in getting the schedule, but I think this is such important information. I think marketing in restaurants sometimes gets looked down upon, or it's the first budget cut, or, maybe it's the type of thing that's like, oh yeah, it's those guys in the back do, like, and then when you see something like this, you're like, oh, when marketing is on fire, this is what happens. This is when people are highly intentional about delivering to a certain goal. Like, this is what can happen. And this is marketing, man. So appreciate you taking the time to share this with everybody. I hope everybody's super inspired. This is awesome. Again, if you're watching with us live, we appreciate that. If you're listening to the audio version, go find my LinkedIn or my YouTube and watch the video of this so you can see the presentation. And if you are in the Restaurant Marketing Summit, we hope you enjoyed this. And Luis, thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you, Rev. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a great one.